Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Beta games in the building. You know what it is. Let me adjust everything here. Ah. All right. Apologies. First things first. My peoples come first, and my peoples are those still here with us, those that have passed, always thought of and remembered. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. This is an episode of 115, one question, 15 minutes. And it's going to be a short and sweet one. So I'm actually going to start the clock pretty early. I'm going to go through this. I hope you like the updates. Really subtle, really subtle. If you've been here before. If you haven't been here before, then all of this is new. But first things first. I got the comments, questions that I will be answering throughout the season. These are constantly evolving, constantly changing. All right. The latest one today is going to be this one. This one, the thumbnail, the thing that you're catching right now. Why City face their toughest title defense ever. Why this is the toughest. And I'm going to make sure that I devote my thinking on it. Y'all can interact in the questions. Y'all can say, Vader, you're talking crazy. Vader, I agree. Maybe look at things like this. We can have all of that combo. But I'm doing that first and foremost. Also, I'm going to shout out, because I do this every show, the very first person to take the time, see the notification, see that Vader Games has got a show up and coming, right? Upcoming show, whether I'm live or before going live, taking the time, going to the channel. Some of you hit that like button, which is mad love, mad respect. Thank you so much. Even before I'm live, you're like, Vader, I messed with you. I like what you're doing. Here's a like. And then some of you, hit the microphone. And then some of you are like, let me see what Vader has to say. Some of you rivals in particular, let me hear what Vader has to say before I hit the like button. But much appreciated. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll shout out the very first in the comments today's show that took the time to join and be a part of it. Today's show, the very first comment goes to my dude, AJ. What it is, he goes, big up Vader every time. Every time with the emojis, the flexing emojis. That's the cool one. Let me do this real quick. He's got the cool emoji. Yeah, I put it over my glass. He's got the cool emoji and the peace sign. Much respect. Thank you. And my girl DC. What it do, Sky Blues. That's what it is. Now, I'm gonna deal with your comments and then I'm gonna get into the show. AJ also goes, I'm going to be completely honest. At the current moment, Arsenal will finish second to fourth. Ooh, to win the league, Ivan Toney, Brand and Membo, Ize, and Fofana must happen. So you're talking about a lot of additions that need to go to Arsenal for them to win the league. I hear that. But you got them finishing second. AJ, you know, big up DC, showing love to DC in the building. DC showing love to AJ as well. United Spurs of America, big up. Hit that likes. He's right now. I don't know if you haven't subscribed to Vader Games TV, do it. Let's get the notification set, because when you subscribe and you hit that notification button, you know of everything. You know of everything that I happen to make live. But then you also see the upcoming shows. And the very first ever on my channel, I've done Citizens Neighborhood Watch before, a couple seasons back when I was just monitoring the neighborhood. You know, you got to look around and make sure everything's calm in the neighborhood. So as a citizen, Manchester City, I was doing my neighborly responsible duties and keeping an eye on the neighborhood. And I was watching the United or Manchester United takeover. I was paying attention. I was looking at it closely. And go back if you want, check out those old videos, Citizens Neighborhood Watch. But I just broke it down. I was like, the Glazers ain't selling. They are not selling. So that kind of sparked off, and now the idea kicked in where I was like, you know what? I don't just need to be paying attention to my direct neighbors. Let me pay attention to the EPL as a neighborhood. So my very first show, much respect, shout out to Jacob, United Spurs of America. He's going to be my very first guest on Citizens Neighborhood Watch, which we're going to kick off at 11:15 UK time, 6:15 Toronto time. And it's going to be a short and sweet show. At most, I'm going to be asking 30 minutes of his time. If the comments kind of spark on and we're going longer, that's cool. But I'm only going to hold Jacob 30 minutes. So as you know, Vader Games TV. It's all about precision. It's all about timing. I got the clock up. I'm gonna start the clock. I promise. But it's all about precision. It's all about timing. So Jacob is going to be on the clock 30 minutes. I'm going to have his time. If he's got more to give, that's cool. But I'm going to be quality questions. Quality questions. And it's going to be very unique. So please tune in. It's going to be very unique. I haven't given him the questions yet. But you can kind of get an idea if you clicked on that video and you see what's happening in the description where things are going. Marvin in the building. He goes, Vader, have a comeback to YouTube. Yeah, I'm back. I'm able to schedule it. Again, it's still the summertime. I'm able to schedule it before work kicks in and the kids are back in school. But when the kids are back in school, it's going to be a lot easier. DC, Manchester is feeling awfully blue. Awfully blue. Great blue. At the football store where I go and get my kits, my jerseys, one of United's jerseys are blue. United's jerseys are blue. We happen to be blue. Manchester's blue. You know what it is. Heard you got sexy guests on later. Look at this guy. You know what? You better hold up your end of the bargain and appear in a sexy mode. Pause. No attraction, obviously, but for the viewers, you better show up that way, Jacob. I am all good, thank you. Oh, bless. My dude, True City fan in the building, goes, hey bro, you know what it is. And showing love to True City fan. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, make sure and do that. Now, let me start the clock and let me get this going, because this is going to be, and another reason why I got to be really precise on the timing is because I do have my princess. I do have to pick up my princess. All right. So let me get the clock going. Let me start this properly. Let's reset. All right. Good. And we're going to do this clean as well, so you guys know in terms of times.
Vader Games.
Okay, hear me out. I hear a lot of predictions, right? In this whole space, it's all about predictions. Who's going to win the league? Who's best set to win the league? All that stuff. I get it. You've got a club, in my club, that's happened to win it 4 times in a row, 6 out of 7, right? And you look at the quality that was required for us not to win the league in Liverpool prior to that. But there is something to be said about the departure of some quality players. There is something to be said about the maturity and experience, been there, done that, know how to deal with any type of situation, type of players that have had to leave the club. There's also something to be said about the players that have been here, that have had that success. Most recently, we look at the departure of Julian Alvarez. He's won it all in 2 years. In 2 years at Manchester City, he won it all, everything possible. I mean, he did something that some of our rivals, they're greats, some of their legends, some of our rivals' legends in their entire career at the club weren't able to do what Julian Alvarez did in 2 years. Julian Alvarez won Champions League that many greats at some of our rivals' clubs weren't able to do. Julian Alvarez won the Premier League, not once, twice, that many of our rivals' greats weren't able to do. So when you have the departure of quality like that, when you have the accumulation of players that have done it all, that have won it in the manner that they won it, how do you keep them hungry? How do you keep them seeking to want more, seeking to actually go that extra mile, that extra inch, bleed a little more, sweat a little more? How do you do that against a hungry 2 decades of starvation? How do you do that against a team that have not won it for 20 years? On your neck trying to win it. It took 2 points last season. Okay? Now, this is back-to-back failures to win the league from an Arsenal. Okay? Back-to-back. That level of hunger we haven't seen. Let's be honest. We haven't seen that level of hunger from a rival club. I'm going to get to the comments. I promise. But they've not won the league 2 years in a row. There's a difference in terms of being interrupted, another club getting in, and then that kind of elevating the hunger. This is a team that's not won it 2 years in a row. That hunger's different. So I think we have a lot to expect from an Arsenal this year, But I'm going to focus on Manchester City. I'm going to focus on Manchester City right now. I'm going to get to the comments. I promise you I will get to the comments. 4 in a row. When we won the treble, when it was a three-peat, many said it was impossible to do 4. No one's ever done 4. And then full belly, eating lush, 5-star restaurants, a treble to try and still get back and do it again was incredibly difficult. Now we're trying to do that for a 5th time. That's where I have to put this thing and really put it into context on why the title defense is going to be that much harder. It's also going to be that much harder because, and I'm going to put this on screen. I'm going to put this on screen while also going to the comments. So let me change this. We're going to do this on the fly. Let me find this here. So this is the community. No, actually, let me pull up the winners of the last 20 years, the last 10 years in particular. And let me take this off screen because you guys have seen this. You don't need to see that. I'm blocking this a little bit. Maybe I can move it. And I will get to the comments. Let me just manage this. All right. So hopefully you can see that. Okay, you can see the year. You can see the year and you can see the clubs. Now, the reason why this is important because since 2015, you can see the clubs that have won it. All right, we've had an amazing run. I'm very grateful. To have my club have this level of success in my adult life, right? You can see the platinums, right? You can see the platinums. I got 2. I got a young princess. I got a young prince. For me to be having my best life around them at the same time is incredibly amazing. I mean, yes, my childhood, very different. But adulthood, you know what I mean? Paying bills, mortgage, to be able to be happy with my club winning as well, amazing. Now, I put this on screen. I know I'm getting behind on the comments. I'm sorry, but I'm flowing. I'm getting behind on the comments. I had to put this on screen because I also want us to pay attention and notice. Oh, my screen's kind of messed up. I also want us to notice the Community Shield. And this point in particular is why this defense is going to be insane. This defense not only in previous years was just a probability, a possibility, that a numbers game, but now we can't ignore the Community Shield curse. We can't ignore it. We really can't. We can't ignore the Community Shield curse. And I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to put this on screen as well. Let me try and do this clean. All right. Clicking on this. Moving that. All right. Can we see that? I need to move. All right. So I just slid over the winners. Okay. Which I'm blocking actually. All right. Let me move over. Okay. All right. Hopefully that works. Yeah, that should work. That should work. So I moved this over and it's not fully balanced. Should I do that as well? No, I didn't do that. Okay. All right. I'm moving this up slightly. All right. Hopefully that works out. Okay. But the reason why it's important is because look at who won the Community Shield. Look who won the Community Shield in 2014. All right. And then so the season that was won was Chelsea. So the curse in terms of the club that won the Community Shield did not win the league. All right. Arsenal won it 2014. Chelsea won it at the conclusion of the 2014-2015 season. Okay. Next year, Arsenal win the Community Shield again. They win it again in 2015. But who goes on to win the league? And Arsenal, Spurs, they were in that fight, right? Let's remember, they were in that fight. Ended up being Leicester for 2016. Now, we go to 2016. United win it. Who wins it 2017? Chelsea. It's all there on the screen. It's all there on the screen. Now, can I go through every year? Yes, I can do that, but I don't need to. It's there. You guys can see it. I'm going to get to the comments. I promise. I'm going to get to the comments. One thing I want to point out is the only time The only time a club was able to reverse, like Uno reverse, or cast a spell and not let the Community Shield jinx or the Community Shield curse affect, was Manchester City. Manchester City in the year of, can we see that? In the year of 2018, we won that Community Shield, right? You guys can see that. 2018, we won that Community Shield. And then the 2018-2019 season, we ended up winning it. Of all the years, 10 years. I can do a 20-year breakdown. I can do that, but for the sake of time, the last 10 years, and that's a perfect sample size. That's a decade, right? That's also a good comparison in terms of club, financial success across the board, the competitiveness being at a high level. The last 10 years, that's a good sample size. It's also a good reflection in terms of knowing, managers before Pep and, obviously with Pep. But we can see what's happened here. The only manager that was able to do it, and he's only done it once, was Pep. We look at that 2018. 2018, we won the Community Shield, and we then went and won the league 2018-2019. We won the Community Shield the following year, right? The following year. Guess what happened? Liverpool won that league. Liverpool won the league. This is going to be the most difficult, the toughest. I'm not going to say impossible because it's happened before, but this is going to be the most difficult. It will be the toughest title defense that we as Manchester City fans will have to face. Look at the spending intent that we're seeing from Arsenal. Look at how good United are looking right now. I'm not saying that they're title challengers, but they can disrupt and make life difficult amongst the league. Look at Liverpool. Well, Liverpool's getting slept on. They got Slot, but they're getting slept on only because it's a new manager. It was a 3-horse title chase race last year. If not for Klopp and his tiredness, his fatigue, it would have been a different story. But we can't ignore that we've got the Community Shield win on top of everything else. The departure of Julian Alvarez, the chance to try and five-peat, which we've never seen. I'm gonna go to the comments, but listen, I'm not gassing it. I'm not trying to do anything extra. I'm looking and I'm talking about it logically. I'm looking at history as well. I need to point this out. Let me go to the comments. I know I'm behind on these. Let me go to the comments. All right. How far back am I going here? All right. Oh, we got Marvin talking about Bruno needs to get over that. You're better than Newcastle. Ooh, okay. That's a different convo. Marvin, I'm with you. That's a different convo. Big up Godfrey in the building. See you. AJ in the building saying good luck. Big up to Godfrey. Spurs reminding you guys, like and share. Good looking out. Let's get the numbers up. Sheik in the building. Big up. Yo, great show earlier. If you haven't subscribed to Sheik, please do that. I'm looking to link up with him. I think there's gonna be a lot of Chelsea combos and drama throughout the season. So we gotta get that. We gotta get into that. And AJ showing the flex again for Sheik in the building. Now, let me say, DC's got tremendous confidence, and I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her point of view. I'm not mad that she kind of has this perspective, but we have to account for it. Now, we account for it, and if we exceed it, if we do better, bonus, cool. We move. It's like, all right, we accounted for some of the difficulties. We had some challenges, but we overcame them. DC wants to go, we're Cité. We eat curses for breakfast. DC, we eat curses for breakfast? I don't know. We've done it once. We've got you know what? Let me do this. Let me do the laundry list. Okay. We've got Saudi clubs sniffing around, offering up crazy money to our players. Okay, we've got that. We got the potential contract extension, maybe 1 year left that we got to deal with KDB. We got to deal with Bernardo Silva. And let's not forget we got Pep. A lot of people are telling me he's signing the extension. I haven't seen it yet. That's something to be concerned about. That's another reason why it's going to be difficult. We got this pursuit of a 5-peat, incredibly difficult in terms of the season. And then we've got the likes of Arsenal strengthening their defense that they said was a problem, clearing some dead weight that they're looking to then invest in better attacking, and potentially strengthening their midfield. They are the biggest threat to this title defense, rightfully so. Last 2 years, it's been them. We only won the league by 2 points last season. If you guys disagree, if you, in the comments, rival or not, if you happen to disagree with this being the most difficult title defense that City will have to face, please let me know. If you think that this is going to be the most difficult title defense for City to have to face versus anyone else, please let me know. I happen to think it is. Yo, my gal Rose in the my gal Rose. She goes, "Good afternoon, Vader. City will beat all odds, including winning the Community Shield curse. 5-peat will be." Rose, you know you know you're my gal, but you make it sound so easy. Rose, how's it going to be so easy? It's hard to defend. It's hard to repeat. Listen, Rose, look at JA this Winter Olympics, this Summer Olympics. Rose, look at JA. It's tough to defend. It's tough to have to fend off the challengers like that. I don't know. I'm stressing over here. Got too many platinums developing right now. It's messing with me. DC in the building. Shouting out Rose. Rose doing the same. AJ goes, "Vader, this is something I've been meaning to say for a while. It's been my pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for having me on your community. I wish you and your family all the best." AJ, listen, always, man. Much respect. I appreciate you tuning in, being able to drop comments, being a part of the show. I like sharing your comments on screen as well. And I appreciate the challenges. And whenever I catch you in other comments on other shows, it's all love, man. True City fan goes, "Delap should have stayed." Ooh. Delap's kicking himself now. And that leads to a conversation that Patrick, we're probably going to have on your channel or Pitch Points, is thinking strategically. Should some of these academy players look to make their moves closer to the closing of a transfer window? That's a tough one. Because I think the academy players, I think the players that are trying to get that first team opportunity, if they waited just a little longer, they might have better reasoning to stick around and kind of take their chances. Godfrey goes, "I see it being close once again. Arsenal and Liverpool will push you to the last day, but City win the league once again." I hope so, Godfrey. I hope so, but you can't look at the moves that your club's making. Actually, let me switch up this clock real quick because I want to be concise. 30-minute show max, because like I said, I got to pick up my princess. I don't know. I think it will be close. I think there's going to be a stint where City are going to have to claw in some points. I don't see it being neck and neck for the majority of the season amongst Arsenal, Liverpool, but I do see us three clubs and a few others that I'm going to do on a preview show. I'm not going to steal some of the content and do it now, but I think there's going to be a lot of a lot of points taken away from each other. That's what's going to keep things so close. Not like 2 or 3 clubs running away with it. I think it's going to be a matter of it might be ugly with regards to the win, loss, and draw columns this year, to be honest with you. True City fan goes, McAtee also learned patience. He did. McAtee learned patience because of the moves that he's done to returning back. So I kind of give him respect on that one. But it's a hard lesson. The lap should have. I agree. Now, I have it there on the screen. I hope you can see it clearly. I basically put the last 10 years in terms of league winners and Community Shield winners. And it's very telling. It is very telling. I heard from DC, I heard from my gal Rose saying curses. I can actually hear them say curses. Doesn't matter. We'll deal with it. Vader, don't worry. We'll deal with it. I hope so. I really hope so. If you on a prediction show a little later, because I like to do that officially. I like to do a prediction show after the first game's been played, to be honest with you. When we actually get to see the managers with their players, we actually get to see all of that. And ideally, yes, I know there's some of you that live only in, YouTube content space. I actually like to do a proper prediction when the transfer window's closed. When I know all the pieces are on the board. I'm a chess player. I like to know where the pawns are at, where the bishop, where the rook, especially where the queens are at. I need to know. All right. I need to know what's on the board. So we'll do a prequel preview, and we'll do a proper preview when the transfer window's over. AJ's good looking out. He's saying 13 likes. My people appreciate the 13 likes. If any of you are new, subscribe as well. Always appreciated. Rose goes, Vader, regarding the Olympics, JA was plagued with injuries, admits mishaps, and we come back stronger. Rose, I agree. The world better watch out. You know what? It's the Olympics, obviously, another 4 years from now. But Worlds next year, watch out. It's gonna be a lot of. It's gonna watch out next year. And I'm sure you know. Now, I want to also point out that I have confidence in Manchester City, that I have confidence in my club, that obviously there's a lot of pride. I'm looking at the way things net out right now, that we probably will have Phil Foden, Rico Lewis, James McAtee, Oscar Bob, and I'm forgetting Nico Riley. 5. We have a chance at 5 academy players being in the first team, getting substantial minutes. Tremendous pride in that. And the fact that maybe it's the reliance on that hunger, that youthful hunger, to get the KDBs, a little later in their career, to get the John Stones, right? To get the Kyle Walkers to be like, listen, guys, the young guys are like, we don't have all the trophies you guys have. We haven't shown all the armpits and raised the arms to success like you guys have. Maybe that is going to drive this club to be just as persistent, as consistent as what's needed to do it. But I take pride in those 5 academy players. And don't let any of these rivals, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but don't let any of these rivals minimize the importance of an Oscar Bob and a Rico Lewis. Yes, we've seen them consistently play well, right? Playing Champions League. I mean, it was tough to see Micah go, but even true City fan, what about Hamilton? Youngest. He was the youngest before Rico Lewis, or after Rico Lewis. Mike is now the youngest to have scored in a Champions League debut. So we need to take pride. Don't let any rivals talk you down on taking pride in the academy players and the fact that they're in the first team. But maybe it's that youthfulness that needs to kick on. It's still going to be extremely difficult. I'm going to be confident in the team, but my confidence is still not going to take away the fact that this will be the toughest title defense. And you know what? True City fan agrees with me, and I'm going to get to the comments as well. He agrees. Hamilton leaving was tough. After winning a three-peat, which United did, or Arsenal winning an Invincible, or Liverpool winning after not winning for 30 years, would any of those be considered more difficult than trying to win a five-peat? The three-peat for United trying to win the fourth, would that have been more difficult than us trying to win a five-peat? I don't think so. I think 5 is more than 4. That's more difficult. Now, Arsenal going invincible, they should have won it the previous year. I mean, your team went invincible. Was it hard to repeat the following year? They should have. And I think Arsene Wenger would admit that. I think his greatest failure at Arsenal, and I think he's admitted it, that not being able to hold the title. And correct me if I'm wrong, Godfrey, but I think he had said that not being able to win back-to-back was one of his biggest regrets. I don't think it would be as tough as winning a 5-peat after going invincible. Because you're not even asked to remain invincible, you're just remain to be better than the rest. Now, Liverpool, having won their first in over 30 years, the existence of the Prem, would it have been harder for them to repeat for their second? Whereas, no, everything comes down to this 5-peat. This 5-peat is the most difficult title defense. Make an argument. Rivals, make an argument. I don't see it right now. I don't see it. But this 5-peat is incredibly difficult. The 5-peat is also incredibly difficult, and I don't want to do too much of this off the pitch stuff. But I have to, because we're not robots. Us as fans also have this looming over us. Every time we happen to be interacting with any of you rival clowns, you guys want to bring up the 115. That is something to have to overcome as well. So I want to shout all of that out. I want to point out this comment from Godfrey. He goes, Havertz leading the line the whole season will cost us, of course. He will bag a couple of goals, but we need a clinical striker that will be able to take those half chances. We need that focal point. I agree, Godfrey. If you guys get a clinical, not wasteful striker up front, like if you've shown the amount or interest in investing in that type of player as you have with regards to your midfield and even the defense, because let's be real, Timber 2 seasons ago, this season, Calafiori, if you guys had showed that type of, we made a mistake, let's go back into the market with regards to striker, danger, problems. And that's a big reason why I'm like, I'm losing Julian Alvarez, because if there was ever a little bit of a hiccup, ever not quite to form, ever got an injury with Erling Haaland, Julian Alvarez was there. Third most minutes, relied upon. Hey, Foden, you got a little something with the ankle? All right, Julian. Haaland, you're out? Julian. KDB, you're out? Julian. Julian delivered goals, delivered free kicks, tried his best with creativity. He's not quite his thing, but he was there. We're now out of a backup. This title defense is going to be the toughest. It is going to be stressed. Listen, viewers, new to the channel or not, look at me right now. See the platinums. All right? Majority on this side. But see the platinums. And then we're going to take note. I'm going to clip it. You know what? Maybe I'm going to do Oh, let me old school. I'm gonna do like they used to do this for music videos. I don't know. Do you guys even watch music videos anymore? But they used to do this for music videos. Shout out to the artist, not the person, but the artist in R. Kelly. He did like a 360 profile where he showed his braids. I might do that with the beard. I'll show you the platinums. I'll show you the platinums prior to the season kicking off, and then afterwards. It's going to be that type of season. I know it. It's going to be stress. 2 points. 2 points is what separated us last season. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Hit the like, everybody in the building. Godfrey goes, like City, have Holland. You're right. You're right. Glendon in the building. Good looking out. Appreciate it. Jason, good. Listen, this season, I'm gonna do my best to be more consistent with these shows. I'm gonna try and find the sweet spot with regards to timing, but I'm gonna be more consistent. And please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna do this is a plug. This is a plug. Subscribe because I have this show, one question, 15 minutes, 115. All right. 50 minutes of me just flowing, giving you my take, and then 50 minutes interacting, making sure I get the comments and I, maybe expand on some thoughts that I maybe flew through a little too quickly. But all in all, I try to keep this show nice and concise. Also, I've got Why Always Me, more of a guest appearance show. Get my peeps, True City fan, pitch points, Mancunian Way, Adam, Clinical. I had Han on as well. I'm gonna get my peoples on there, and then this show, different. It's different. Citizens Neighborhood Watch. Please subscribe. That's gonna kick off 11:15 UK time, 6:15 my time out here in Toronto. I've got an amazing guest. He said he's going to be showing up sexy, so we'll see what that means. He said he's going to be showing up sexy. So tune in. United Spurs of America, Jacob. We're going to talk. I got some questions. It's going to be a consistent, precise show. Now, Bruce goes, in my opinion, the Invincible season is the most overrated stat ever. They drew so many games. The league is decided by points, not absence of losses. 5 in a row would top that for sure. Hey, I put the question out there. Bruce answered it. 5 in a row, most difficult title defense. I happen to agree. That's why I posed it. I want to see if anyone would challenge it, disagree. Hey, 5 in a row. We got to get there. Season hasn't kicked off yet. I haven't even kind of given you my breakdown on Community Shield. I'm glad that we won it because it's United. But now I'm like, what the Community Shield curse? Okay. But Glenn goes 5 Pete holding off Liverpool and Arsenal in their form is God tier. Woo! Ooh! Glendon. That's a great point. That's a great point. Look at what Klopp is to Liverpool, and for Manchester City to have had to hold that challenge off. Twice versus Liverpool to hold them off by 1 point, but in recency to have to hold them off to build towards this 4 Pete chance at a 5 Pete. I hear you. Devaney goes, I'm a big, massive fan of Manchester City FC. Please, could you send me a signed Manchester City FC jersey? I don't know how I could get you a signed jersey because I'm not at the home games, or I haven't traveled to away games to get an authentic signature to be able to get you a jersey. But you're on the channel. If things come about, that would be an amazing prize that I would like to extend to those that are interacting with the show, not just yourself. But it's a great idea, and I'll keep that in mind if I ever get the opportunity. Rose, Vader, you will have laugh lines, minimal grace. Rose, that's why you're quality. That's why you're quality. That's why you're quality, Rose. I like that. Bruce, 5 in a row, half a decade of the entire team being motivated and going again year after year. Anyone that played sports knows how crazy it is. Bruce, you're right. And it's not, I know it's kind of cliche, and I see that the time's right. I know it's cliche to say that it's that it's easier to get to the top, but it's harder to remain at the top. I know it's a cliche, but it's absolutely true. There's also that point where some players some have said, I just didn't have that fight in me anymore. I didn't have that eagerness. I didn't have that hunger. That comment is absolutely spot on in terms of this 5-peat, spending off the challengers that we did, spending off the competition and the quote unquote stature of clubs that were pursuing this title. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. People talking about how we drew so many games, but we still won the league regardless without losing. However, if City does that 5-peat, I'm taking that over the invincible season all day. Yeah, I think stint, if we just want to go 3-year stint, and you might not like this, Godfrey, but I think 3-year stint, Manchester City's team has exceeded the invincible team from a 3-year stint. Because I know you guys didn't go back to back, but to have to, having one and then one, that's huge. But to go 3 years and winning it, or if you want to go, winning it, repeating it, retaining the title, 3-peat, and then 4-peat if you want to look at that 3-year stint. That's huge. My favorite Manchester City FC player is Erling Haaland. Trust me, Erling's doing his thing, but there's a lot of stars. I think you're gonna have a lot of. He is your favorite, but you're gonna have a lot of likes. You're gonna have a lot of likes. Marvin goes, Vader, have you heard about the Arteta pickpocket thing? Marvin, I'll address this before I shut things down. I did hear about it, and he's too much of a gimmicky manager. Like, I'll be honest with you, I consume a lot of football content. I like to know, again, the reason why I got Citizens Neighborhood Watch, I like to know what others are doing around me, right? So I did watch the All or Nothing, and I thought he was just a little too gimmicky. He was trying to do something for the sake of talking about it, for the sake of a focal point, right? And the whole pickpocketing thing was very silly to me. Very silly to me. And it's also something where if you're doing it, keep it in-house. Keep it in-house. If this was an All or Nothing and it came out, okay, we get it. But there's no reason for this to have leaked. There's no reason for this to silly. And Arteta is clearly trying to figure something out, trying to do something different. Is he trying to imply that the league that we just subtly, without them being aware of, took the league from them? Or is he trying to say that Rodri was spot on when he said the mentality that was needed to be focused on winning it, on taking the title? You got to go and grab it. You got to, yeah. Let me stop right there because I know I'm gonna go off. AJ goes, Vader, I can't lie. I think your away third shirts are cold. Woo! Look, yes, the details, AJ. The details. So this is different from last year. I updated the channel in terms of the branding. And I'm in the works for a sponsor, so I'm gonna reveal that a little in the future. Hence the reason why I'm also a lot more consistent. But yeah, these jerseys, whoo, that maroon, clean. That, and I have it over there. That away jersey, Paul Dickov. Ooh, I was sporting it. If you can see it on a past thumbnail, I was sporting it. Nice. I can't lie. I did get some nice compliments. All right. Yes. I'm happily. I realize it's code, right? Like, if you don't say you're a happily married man, that means you're out there. Like that's code. I realize that as a grown man that you're out there. But happily married man. But I did get some compliments in that kit. Not gonna lie. So if you have a chance, I mean, obviously our home kit is our home kit, right? But if you have a chance to get either the away or the third kit, as a City fan, of course, or you want to get it as a gift for someone, please do. Now, I'm going to shut this down. I want to show mad love to everybody in the comments. You took the time to interact with me and the show. is appreciated. I'm going to put this back on screen as well because this is what we discussed today. Why City face their toughest title defense ever. Why we face the toughest title defense ever. I'm probably going to address this a little bit when we see what happens in this transfer window because there's a lot of moves being made by these rivals. So we're going to shout that out. We're going to point that out. But I'm going to shut down and catch me in less than 3 hours. All right. And about 6:15 my time, 11:15 UK time. But check that out. I'm going to put this last comment on from my man, Bruce. He goes, Terry. Yes, I do. I know him. I know him well. For the past few seasons, I've been joining a show. Is it trolling when every thumbnail of his is something like Arsenal is scary, scintillating, unstoppable? You need to give him some ribbing for this, a la Lee Gunner. Terry knows what he's doing, Bruce. He knows what he's doing, and honestly, he does this because it caters to that Arsenal fan base. Not necessarily Godfrey, but others. They're very emotional. Arsenal fans are highly emotional. And on another show, I'll talk about how that emotion has actually been a detriment to them being able to get over the line. But he knows he's catering to that fan base, so that's why he puts titles like that out there. And he also knows for certain rivals, they're going to get triggered. They're going to be like, what's going on? Look at what he did every time, hyping up, promoting, saying Arsenal are scary when at the same time City did their thing. We did our thing. 4P. You know what I mean? But I'm going to shut down. Bless to each and every one of you. My gal Rose, DC, Devani, Marvin, AJ, Bruce. Listen, Glendon, Jason, new to the mix. True City fan, of course. I hope I mentioned AJ. I should have from the jump. United Spurs of America, Chic TV. Subscribe if you haven't. And if I've missed you, my apologies. I'm going to be running out the door, get my minion, but I will be back 11:15 UK time. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. This is an episode, is an episode of 115, one question, 15 minutes. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to do my best to bring some thumbnails with some of the changes in topics. But love as always.
Vader Games.
Bless.